Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. Hope you're all doing well today, wherever you are on Earth. What's today? Oh, it's August 17th. We've had some really terrible things happen here within the last week on planet Earth, which I'm not going to mention, that have to do with my favorite island on the planet. And so I've been personally processing through a lot of anger and grief, frustration, trauma, not only for the people as an empath, because I'm an empath and I have clients on that island and in those islands. And I also have friends on those islands and in that particular island. But I also had 2 past lifetimes there on that island, in that area, when I was in Lemuria. I had 2 past lives. And so I'm very connected. I've also visited those islands many, many times, especially the one that had the terrible thing happen. The reason I'm not talking about it on this channel is because this channel will get shut down if I talk about it. And so I'm not going to discuss it today on the show. I just wanted to mention to you all that my heart is and prayers are going out to all the people involved, all the families involved, all the animals that were harmed, all the humans that their lives were taken away, and animals that's lives were taken away, all the people whose family members have had their lives taken away and they're still alive, and now they have to live without their friends and their family members and their business people. My heart and prayers go out to all of them. And just personally processing through a lot of stuff, a lot of emotions for all of that. Because I've always been connected to those islands. The place where this incident happened, which I call a scorched earth, that the cabal is doing to, basically it's a land grab. It's a land grab. And it was also it was a sacrifice. They did it on August 8th. They did it on the Lionsgate portal. And they're lying on the news about what actually happened and the numbers of people involved. They're lying about everything. So do not believe what you hear. That's all I will say about this is this was all perpetrated by bad guys. There's people on social media saying it was white hats that did it and that there's dumbs underneath that area. That's not true. There are dumbs underneath a specific island, but not that specific island. It's another one. And I'm not going to say which one on here again. I'm not going to mention names of islands because my channel will get probably taken down. But basically the island that has all the dumbs under it has the military, the Navy base on it too. It's the one that's involved in Pearl Harbor, that island. Starts with letter O. That's where all the dumps are. This specific island does not. People who are saying that it did do not know what they're talking about. This was pre-planned. They're trying to turn that specific part of the world into a dystopian nightmare of 15-minute city islands, trying to turn all the islands into 15-minute cities. And they were going to start with this specific spot that they scorch earthed. And there is a certain pop that's on the market that's spelled with letter D, has mountain before it. And they showed us on that can what they were going to do. And they did it. And then they showed the aftermath with the darkness. And they show us and tell us what they're going to do always before they do it to us. So I just wanted to say just a few things about that. So today's video, I am talking to you all about what I call reptilian and mantid reincarnations that are happening and how that impacts everybody on this planet. And what I'm finding, the reason why I made this video is because I do counseling sessions and readings for people all the time. I do soul readings, I do counseling, I do all kinds of stuff for people. I do healing sessions on people. And what I'm finding out is there's a lot of my clients who have husbands, wives, even children, sisters and brothers, parents, whatnot, that are either reincarnated mantids or they're reincarnated Draco reptilians. And when I say reincarnated, I mean that their soul is that. So they're not a shapeshifter per se. Okay. You would know it if you were married to one of those, because at some point in the relationship, multiple times, you're going to see them, their eyes changing and their skin changing and that kind of thing. So you would know if they were a shapeshifter. But there are mantids and reptilians that are reincarnated. So the soul is that, and it's reincarnated into a human body. And so first of all, I want to talk to all of you who haven't been following me for a while or haven't been awake for a while. I want to talk to you about who these beings are, what they are, why they're here, and what they are doing here, and what their plans are for us. So the what are called the Vril or the reptilians, first of all, you need to know that there's hundreds of different types of reptilian species out in space and on Earth here. Obviously, we have actual reptilian creatures. We've got snakes and lizards and turtles and, you know, all kinds of different reptilian type species of animals, geckos, you know, all those kind of things. We have a lot of those types of things on planet Earth, but all over space, there are beings, actual, like, you know, humanoid beings that are reptilian alike. And there's many types of them. I don't know exact number because I'm not a space expert. If you want to know exact information about these types of beings, I am a spiritual teacher, so I'm here to give you the spiritual version of this. If you want the space version and the space history, you want to go to Ileana, the Star Travelers channel, which is called, I think the cosmic, the cosmic reality show or something like that. But just, her name's Ileana, Ileana, the Star Traveler. And she's got all the different space information because she was part of the secret space program. She had 30 in backs. She worked for Space Corporation out on, I think, the moon or Mars or something, operating med beds for super soldiers. That's what she was doing. She was a enhanced super soldier at one time. I don't know if she is anymore, but basically, if you want to learn about the more space related information, she is quite an expert in that area. A lot of people also like to follow Ismail Perez. He's got a fair amount of information. I'm not in agreement with everything he says, just so you all know. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's a good person. I just don't agree with everything he says. I have a lot of friends out there who I don't agree with everything they say. It doesn't make them a bad person. A lot of my friends do not agree with everything I say. I have several friends who do the same work I do, and some of the stuff I do, they're not in agreement with, and that's okay. We agree to disagree. We're able to respect each other's opinions and beliefs, and we're able to get along fine, because the people who have different information from me, they're not bad people. There's nothing bad with them. It's just that they have different perceptions, different beliefs, different information. They may or may not be infiltrated, but it's not their fault because they're not bad people. So, you know, Ismail's got some very relevant information about the space stuff, but Ileana has got far more information, and she's way more experienced. She's been doing this work for many years longer than Ismail has. And so I highly recommend that you check out her information. She also has a group. I don't know the name of her group, but it's on Facebook for this information. So I really recommend it. So, all right. So what I started saying is that there's many different types of these, what we call reptilians. Now, some of them are good and some of them are bad. The ones that we call the Vril that are here, they come from Alpha Draconis star system, or actually it's a star called the Alpha Draconis. They come from that star. They come from a planet from that star. It's in what's called the Draco star constellation, and that is located 270 light years away from Earth. The word Draco is actually a Latin word for serpent, or huge. It means huge serpent or dragon. So it's the dragon star system. The mantids, which are kind of like praying mantis, like imagine if you took a praying mantis and you blew it up 8 feet tall, 9 feet, 10 feet tall. That's what a mantid is. And some of them are good and some of them are bad. Just like reptilians, there's some that are good, some that are bad. Now, the ones who are on Earth who have been controlling this planet, which are the Draco ones, they're extremely bad, extremely malevolent, and they have no heart chakra. They have no ability for compassion or love. They have zero love, zero compassion. They have no empathy. It's real easy for them to, sorry, it's really hot in here. I'm gonna put this little fan on. It's 100 degrees outside, and we have fires burning all around us, and there's smoke in the air all the way down to the ground. So it's kind of nasty here. Anyways, what I was saying is the Draco have no heart chakra. They have no capacity for love, no capacity for empathy, and that's why it's easy for them to eat humans. We're basically their farm. We are their farm. We've been their farm for thousands of years. They came here thousands of years ago. They've been working with Lucifer, Enki, and all those guys the whole time to enslave humanity. A lot of them are what they call the Khazarian mafia and all that. The controllers, the cabal. They are not human. They're not human. The people who are at the core of all that are running the show are not human. Some of them are actually reptilians that shapeshift, and some of them are what we call reptilian souls. So they have a human body, but the soul is reptilian. And then there's also mantids that are running the show too, that are not so nice as well, that are working with them. So the Draco bad ones, and so like I said, there's good reptoids and there's bad ones. The Draco that run this earth, they do not come from the same dimension we come from. So we are all from third dimension. We live in the third dimension right now, and that's not a density consciousness. Okay, there's a difference between dimension and density. I've explained this in multiple videos, but for those of you who don't know, dimension's a location and density is a consciousness level. So third density conscious is fear. 1 and 2 and 3 are bad, bad, bad. Fourth density is love and unity consciousness, and fifth and higher are the higher consciousness levels that are love and light and ability to have telepathy and psychic abilities and superpowers and healing abilities and all these great things. Those are in the higher density consciousness levels. You can have 7th density consciousness beings living in third dimension, because there are planets all over our space and star system that are here with us in the third dimension, and they are higher level consciousness. So they're like 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, we're like the only 3D planet in this area where we're in here in this part of the universe. There are other 3D planets out there, don't get me wrong, but we're the only one in this sector of the universe. The third dimension, which is the location again, was created by the creator gods underneath Prime Creator for the purpose of being a classroom, a learning experience. So you go there to have a learning experience. That's why you go to third density. So you could be in Arcturus, you could be in Pleiades, you could be on Mars or the moon or Venus or anywhere, and those are all third dimension, and those are all a classroom where we go to have learning experiences. Seventh dimension is heaven, and then there's higher dimensions as well, where different types of beings live and operate and come in and out of. And So it's important to know that. And then there is the infamous fourth dimension. Fourth dimension is where the bad Dracos come from. It's also where the Archons, the AI, and the demons, all the demonic, everything like Shadow People, Hat Man, Skinwalker, all these different types of entities, all the dark negative entities on this planet, all derive from the fourth dimension. That's where they all come from, and they open portals into our dimension and they hop through. So the bad Draco reptilians actually all come from fourth dimension. Now it's kind of interesting here because there are grays who are bad, and those grays do not come from fourth dimension. They actually come from third dimension. And there's also AI that comes from third dimension. And there's also the Mantids do not come from fourth dimension. They all come from third dimension. They just got corrupted by a lot of these other bad races. So the only group I know that actually comes from the fourth dimension are these ones who have no heart chakra, no love, no compassion, no empathy. And that's because the fourth dimension is basically all the beings that are totally devoid of all love, all light, all kindness, all compassion, and all empathy. So hopefully that makes sense to all of you. So anything that comes from the other dimensions is going to be beings who have love, they have a heart chakra, they have the capacity for understanding and empathy and compassion and kindness and love. They all have that capacity. They come from other dimensions. But the reptoids that are known as the Draco, these are the ones, again, that are just running our planet here and eating us. They eat us. They come from fourth dimension. So I just wanted to point that out. So we've been basically a farm to them here since they've been here. Everybody thinks that this trafficking thing is some new thing that's just happened now in recent years. They've been trafficking humans for meat and taking humans and plucking them off for meat and eating for about 11,500 years or longer, as long as they've been here. They've been here a minimum of 11,000 years. Some of them have been here many thousands of years. Some of them have even been here billions of years. And they've just kind of gotten out of hand. But we are basically their food source, and their favorite food source is children and babies, especially after they've adrenalized them through torture. They torture them, and then they put adrenaline into their bloodstream, and then they eat them, and that allows them to shapeshift. That allows the reptoids to shapeshift. So the thing I want to focus on talking to you about is what to do when you have these situations where you have family and friends who are reincarnated ones. So you need to understand that when we reincarnate, all of the starseeds, light workers, and humans, when the humans reincarnate into their bodies, their memories are completely wiped. So they do not remember who they were or what they were, especially the human souls and the baby souls. They do not remember what and who they were in previous incarnations. They don't remember any of it. They've all had their mind wiped. A lot of us, like myself, who are born psychic, a lot of us who are born psychic, we remember. We know who we were, and we remember everything. We come in with some of our memories. Not all of us, but some of us come in with our memories. Some come in with all their memories. There's a lot of children that are all coming in now with all their memories. They totally know who they were before they came here. Those are what I call crystal children or indigo children or rainbow children. Then there's some of us who come in with partial memories, and then there's some starseeds and light workers who don't have their memories. Their memories will be switched on as we ascend. You'll get all your memories back. But the problem with the Draco and the Mantids who reincarnate is they come in with full memories. They know who they are. So Hitler and all those evil, Hitler was a Draco reptilian. He was not a human. He was Draco. And a lot of those people like Stalin, Mussolini, all those guys, all of the dictators, Caligula, all the bad, Constantine is another one, all these really evil leaders who have run the planet, they're all Draco, every one of them. And they come through what's called a revolving door. Sylvia Browne talked about this. She said that all these dictators go through, evil monster people, they go through what you call a revolving door. So when they pass away, they come right back in as another dictator, and then another dictator, and another dictator. And they know who they are. They know why they're here. They know they're here to destroy humanity and enslave humanity, and to eat us, and to kill us, and to torture us, and to harm us. And then they keep doing it over and over and over. And every time they come in, they remember who they are, who they were before, why they're here, what their purpose is. They know it all. They totally know it all. The Mantids who come in, it's the same. They know who they are. They have their memories. And I don't want to say all of them, okay, not all of the Mantids do, whereas the Draco do, all of them do. The Mantids, not all of them know who they are. I've had clients who were actually Mantids, who were good Mantids, and they had no clue they were a Mantid. So they do not know these things. And so the thing is that they come in and they just do terror over and over on Earth. They just keep harming us. They keep kidnapping us, kidnapping our children, eating us. You know, this is what they do. It's like an endless cycle over and over. And so I've had all these clients who are mostly women, a lot of them married to men who are reptilian soul men, and the men are cheating on them. The men are evil. They have zero empathy. They have no compassion. They're not loving. They're not affectionate. So here are some of the signs that you want to look for in these people. First of all, every one of the reptilians that are reincarnated are total narcissists. Okay. So a lot of the humans that you know on this planet who are narcissistic, they're not human. A lot of them are reptilian. So they're narcissistic. Of course, there's narcissistic humans and other beings too that come in. There's even Pleiadians that come in that are narcissistic, believe it or not. Not all the Pleiadians are good too. There's a huge group of bad Pleiadians that decided to go for the artificial intelligence. So there's that. Excuse me. So the thing is that the what you want to look for is you want to look for narcissistic tendencies. You want to look for if they have total lack of empathy, like they just don't have any, like zero empathy. They have no empathy, no love, no kindness, no compassion. They don't have the ability to be compassionate. Like they see something happen, like what happened on that island, and they just don't care. Like they have no feeling. Sorry, there's I have like tons of these seaplanes that are going by collecting. I live on a lake and they're collecting water. There's helicopters and seaplanes, and they're collecting water out of the lake to go put on the fires because we have fires burning all around the area. So they're putting the fires out with water, and I'm just watching them fly by my window. I saw 6 or 7 of them just go by because I'm up on a mountain. I live up on a mountain. And I'm looking down at the lake, and you can see the planes go over the lake. So anyways, what you need to look for is you need to look for narcissism, total apathy, total lack of compassion, lack of kindness, lack of love. They don't have the ability to love. They have a totally closed off heart chakra, zero connection to source. Okay. These people either will not believe in God, or they will smite God, or they will laugh at God, or they'll make a mockery of God. They tend to mock God. They don't like religion or spirituality because they are the opposite of that. A lot of them are Satanists. A lot of them worship Lucifer because that's who the Draco worship. That's their dude. Their God is Lucifer. Baphomet, Baal, Beelzebub, Caligastia, all those evil demonic creatures that come from 4th dimension. Again, the demonic entities, that is what these reptilians worship. That's what they worship. Mantids, not so much. They're just good ones and bad ones, but they don't really necessarily worship those guys. I haven't personally encountered one yet that does, but the Draco, they are big time into Satan and Lucifer worshiping. That's their thing. So if you have family members who meet these requirements, they seem very narcissistic, very apathetic, they have no empathy, they have no love, no compassion, no kindness. They're just kind of hateful, mean, nasty people. There's a really, really, really good chance that their soul is reptilian. They have a reptilian Draco soul inside of them, and not a good reptilian either. Okay, like I said, there's good reptilians and bad reptilians. They have the bad one. So that is how you tell. And this is becoming a problem. If you aren't sure, you can use a pendulum. I have a pendulum class. If you go to my website, spiritualgrowthjourneys.com, I have a pendulum class you can take that will teach you how to be your own psychic and get all these answers for yourself. If you don't want to do that and you want help, you're like, well, I don't really want to do that for myself. I want somebody to just tell me. You can schedule a reading or session with me, counseling session on my website. spiritualgrowthjourneys.com. I don't have a calendar there that you go to. You basically send me a message through the contact form on that website and say, I want a session to see if my husband, spouse, wife, family member, whoever has a reptilian soul or mantid soul or whatever. If you want to know that, you can schedule a session. And the reason I do it that way and I don't just put my calendar for people to book is because there's a lot of people who want to do stuff that I don't do. Like they want to come to me for things that I don't do, and then I want to refer them to someone else. I also vet everybody I work with because I have to protect my energy. I'm a Heyoka empath. I'm very empathic, and I will not work with people who are demonic or nasty. I've had people actually try to schedule with me that were very bad people. And I'm going to vet you when you come through the website. So as long as you are a nice, high vibrational, loving person, then I'm going to be working with you and helping you out. If you're somebody who is hateful and mean and disrespectful, or you don't value my time or value me, then I'm probably not going to be working with you. I will be not doing that. So, but everybody else, I'm happy to help you. So I just wanted to come on here and talk to you about this because this is a problem that I'm seeing for a lot of clients, where they come to me and they're complaining about, oh, my spouse this and my spouse that. Recently had a woman whose husband was cheating on her with all kinds of women, and he was totally a reptilian. And that's the kind of stuff they do. They just don't care. They don't care if they hurt their wife. They don't care if they hurt their kids, or if it's a wife. Like I actually have a dear friend whose wife was doing that. She was the cheater and she was the reptilian soul. No love, no compassion, no kindness. She was evil, like the song Evil Woman by ELO was written about her. It was written about her. Anyways, that's why I wanted to come on and just talk about all of this to you, so you have a better understanding of who these psychopaths are that have been ruling our planet. The fact that they keep reincarnating into either back into reptilians or into actual humans, because you can reincarnate into anything you want to reincarnate into. And they retain all their memories. We don't. And so then they can just go and become a dictator all over again. Somebody who's a Hitler, they literally come back through again and they reincarnate over and over, because they've been going unchecked for thousands of years. Here on this planet, we've been you have to read my book, Ascension 101. It explains it, but we've been in kind of a lockdown here. The whole planet and these Dracos have been locked down with us. So since they've been, and they were locked down here with us to prevent them from going from star system to star system and blowing up the planets, which is what they did. They've gone through all the different star systems and like Lyra, blown them up, Orion, you know, all these places they go through, they enslave the people, they rape all the resources, they steal all the like the gold and the diamonds and whatever, and then they blow the planet up. And in order to stop them from doing that, we were put in what's called a quarantine. Our planet was quarantined. And so they were all locked down here with us for the last 25,000 years, you know, that or more that they've been here. And so they keep recycling in. They just keep reincarnating in over and over and over and over and over because they can't go anywhere else. And, you know, don't ask me why God hasn't dealt with them and sent them straight to hell yet, because I can't answer that question. Only the Creator knows the answer to that. I don't know. It has a lot to do with free will. That's one of the things. It has a lot to do with all of us being a collective consciousness, and every being that's ever been created, whether they're good or evil, we are all connected and we are all part of Source, believe it or not. Even the evil is part of Source. We had contracts, we had agreements we made, we were hijacked, we were lied to. There's a lot of reasons why stuff happens on this planet that is just so hard to even wrap my mind around or even explain to anybody else, let alone me figuring it out myself, sitting there and looking at it, and my mind just wants to explode because it's just overwhelming. So that is why my book is called Ascension 101, is everything in that I've kind of, I don't want to say dumbed it down, but I've written it. It was all dictated to me by, most of it, 70% of that book was dictated to me from Yeshua, and it was put into very simple terminology so that you understand it, because some of the really quantum concepts, my brain just cannot deal with them. And so I'm not going to write about them or teach about them. If it's something really, really way out there, I'm going to send you to somebody's channel, like, well, definitely Ileana, the Star Traveler. She understands a lot of these quantum concepts a lot better than I do. Marina Jacoby is somebody who really can explain a lot of this really in-depth quantum technology and AI and just all. She gets into the really hardcore stuff. I don't understand a lot of what she says because it's just way over my head, but she's able to explain things that I just can't even, because I'm more of a right brainer. I'm a creative visual person, and her concepts that she's working on are more left brain, analytical, mathematical, engineering, all that kind of thing. So anyways, so if you want that information, that's where you're going to want to go. All right. Well, that's all I wanted to say. If you want to support this channel, please like it and share it with people. Subscribe if you like my videos. And I do not have my videos monetized. So this is my free time I put in to help you guys. If you want to help support me, I do have a buy me a coffee and I think a PayPal thing in there, and feel free to, if you feel like helping me out. It helps pay for my Zoom that I use to record these, and you know, my computer and my website and all that kind of stuff. It helps to offset some of the costs for that. So thank you all for supporting me and supporting this channel, and for sticking with me for the last like 3-4 years that I've been on this channel. I've had this channel for like 3 or 4 years now, and I really appreciate all of your support and love. I really love all of you so much. And as long as you guys are there wanting this information, I will be here to provide it to you. So see you next time. Of you.